You know, with all the things enticing kids not to be physically active these days, it's hard to believe that a playground would be a culprit. That's what a new study from the University of Western Ontario is suggesting. They say that playgrounds, just like this one, are simply too flat, too metal, and there's not enough green space around them. They're also not distant enough from the road for the kids to feel safe. The university used GPSs just like this one to track 80 elementary school students for an entire year. Their findings are astounding. They simply wanted to understand how kids interact with their environment, what makes them want to be physically active, and what deters them from that physical activity. The study also suggests that these playgrounds need to be adult-friendly. Adults and parents are just as responsible for their kids' physical activity and well-being. There needs to be more seating, more shade, and more green space, such as a community garden that everyone can be involved in. The study suggests that city officials simply went through a catalog for years and picked out a playground and simply plotted it in that piece of land. They didn't really think about how the kids would interact with it. Now, those same city officials are clamoring over the information coming out of this study. They know they have to be responsible and take action for their community's health. And they are. Reporting from Oakville Park, I'm Mai Habib. The city manager's report released this morning was in review of the core services that Toronto offers its citizens. The report does suggest the privatization of the city's zoo, community gardens, and community farms. What it also suggests, and what's really getting Torontonians revved up and up in arms, is the suggestion that public libraries should have a reduction in service costs, and some branches should even be shut down. Canadian author and longtime resident of Toronto, Margaret Atwood, has already put a petition together in anticipation of this report. That petition has garnered 10,000 signatures so far and is growing daily. The report suggests that $200 to $300 million can be saved if all suggestions are implemented. Whether the Ford government is really going to take all that and put it to action is still unclear. One thing that is clear is that it's not going to be an easy fight. Reporting from Toronto's Public Library, I'm Mai Habib. I mean, I get it. We are definitely of a Western mentality where it's not okay. I'm a big equality rights. I don't like the word feminist. Yeah, easy, Don Cherry. And I don't like the word feminist because it implies that I want to chew off the head of every man, and that's not it at all.
And that you don't shave your armpits.
Which
I can tell you is completely false.
Thank you, Coulter. One vouch for May here. But at the same time, I do want to say that I believe in equality. So basically what's going on in Iraq is they're saying, should we give men incentive to marry these women? And a lot of the women in parliament, now Iraq isn't like, they don't just, leave their women to the side to be hairdressers and whatever. There are women in parliament in Iraq. And
something leads me to believe there's not a huge hairstyling industry over in Iraq.
With all their hair covered, you mean?
That would be it.
Well, if they're marrying husbands, they want to.
I don't think Top Choice has a real big market over there. Or First Choice.
It's economic. It was actually introduced with the Oil for Food program. I'm sorry, this program is just baffling my mind, so I'm going to throw it in there.
I got a question about that Oil for Food program.
Do ask.
Now, is there
on a different note from polygamy and monogamy?
Is there some sort of staggering, like, if you give us diesel, we'll give you, some Wendy's vouchers, or if it's, kerosene, we'll give you something else?
No, this is awful, but no, I don't think it worked like that. It was, give us all your oil, here's a few food rations that you may or may not get eventually after they filter through your government.
Here's a six-pack and some Wendy's coupons.
Here's, a six-pack that you don't drink and Wendy's that's not halal. I couldn't think of a better way to say what we want to say through our films in a word. Our films are so out there, kinda, and you have to watch it to really understand. There's so many times I try to explain to other people what we're trying to do and they just wouldn't get it. And I feel like we have one of those projects where you really need to watch it in order to understand it. But destination, telling someone that there's a destination, that we're trying to portray a destination differently, that word has its own sort of connotation and it has a meaning all on its own. So I'm really glad we picked it and it just worked. It worked with everything actually.